Outstanding educators and leaders. How y'all doing? This is Jesse L. Radford III, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of Let the Leader Lead. Now let me catch you up real quick. This episode wasn't originally planned. In fact, it all started as a simple note of encouragement I sent out to some fellow educators in my own school district just a week into the brand new school year. But the response was overwhelming. So many reached out sharing how much it resonated with them that I knew I had to do something more with it. So I decided to bring it here as a bonus episode. Consider this an open letter to all educators who are navigating the start of a new school year. Whether you're a veteran of many years or a newbie just finding your footing, this episode is for you. Now, by the time many of us hear this, most of us will have already moved from weeks to months into the school year. The challenges will have already presented themselves, and the excitement of a fresh start will have given way to the reality of the work ahead. That's exactly why I felt compelled to share this message with you. This is a reminder that in the midst of all the noise, clarity is our most important and most powerful tool as leaders. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, if the to-do list is growing faster than you can keep up with, this episode is for you. In this episode, we'll dive into what we've seen, what we felt, and most importantly, where we're headed in this new school year. We'll talk about the impact we're already making, the challenges we're facing, and the role we all play as bridges, beacons, and balances in our students' lives. I'll also share a personal story that ties it all together and leaves you with the challenge to keep the momentum going as we continue to press toward May and June. So grab your favorite comfort beverage, settle in, and let's revisit what we've already experienced so far. Let's get into the podcast. Good morning, everyone. I've waited a full week before trying to deliver this message because I wanted us all to experience those first few days that can feel like a whirlwind, where everything is new, the routines are still forming, and you're still just trying to find your rhythm. Now that we've all had a chance to settle in to some degree, I think it's the perfect time to talk about where we are and where we're headed. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm tired. I feel like I've been rode hard and put up wet. Apparently, that's not something you're supposed to do to a good horse. And I'm sure many of you are feeling the same way. The excitement, the energy, and the anticipation of that first day have now turned into the reality of our daily routines. But even in this exhaustion, I feel something else. I feel pride. Pride in the first impressions we've made, pride in how we've already started to connect with our students and parents, and hope for what this year could become. As we head into week 2, it's worth remembering that nearly 20% of our students are navigating not just school, but a whole new culture, often with little support. We've already seen this in our classrooms. Students who are trying to find their footing, who need that extra bit of encouragement or understanding. This statistic isn't just a number. It's the reality we're living each day. And it's a reminder of why our work is so important. I've been thinking a lot about Paulo Freire's words this week. He said, education is an act of love, and thus an act of courage. After this first week, I can say that this is truer than ever. It takes love to show up every day, ready to give your best, even when you're tired. And it takes courage to face the challenges head on, knowing that what you're doing matters deeply to the lives of your students. Love and courage, they're not just concepts. They're what we live out in our classrooms every day. Reflecting on this first week, I keep coming back to the idea of being a bridge, a beacon, and a balance. Already, so many of you have stepped up as bridges, connecting students to new ideas, helping them navigate challenges, and creating pathways for them to succeed. Many of you have already begun being beacons, providing that guiding light for students who are unsure or overwhelmed. You've been the steady presence they need as they adjust to the new school year. And even more of you have emerged as a balance, offering stability and consistency. In the midst of all the newness, you've been the calm in the storm, helping students feel secure and grounded. This first week reminded me of a student I had a few years ago, a young person who was struggling to adjust in almost every relevant category. I've seen echoes of his journey in some of my students this week, those who are quiet, reserved, and unsure of where they fit in. It's been a reminder of how important it is to be that bridge for them, to help them connect and find their place and their peace. By the end of that year, my student had transformed, and I see that same potential in the students I'm working with right now. So here's my challenge to all of you as we move forward. Keep being that bridge, that beacon, and that balance. The first week is behind us, but the real work is just beginning. We've set the tone, made those first impressions, and now we need to build on that momentum. Yes, it's exhausting, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Your efforts are making a difference, even if you don't always see it right away. As we step into week 2 and beyond, let's carry with us the lessons of this first week. Let's continue to educate with love and lead with courage. Be the bridge that connects, the beacon that guides, and the balance that steadies. We're just starting, and there's so much more to come. Remember, this year, you'll get the chance to be a bridge, a beacon, or a balance to your students. Embrace that role, even when you're tired, because what you're doing matters more than you know. Thank you for everything you've already done, and here's to a year full of possibilities.